If you suffer from chronic neck and back pain, you understand how much it can affect your quality of life. Luckily, there are ways to get relief. Today, we're joined by our back and neck pain expert, Dr. Miller, along with one of his patients, Dustin, and his wife, Mel. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here, Jordan.
Yeah, so Dr. Miller, I want to start with you because oftentimes when people are experiencing neck and back pain, not only is it debilitating, but it's also causing a lot of other issues that have to do with relationships, their husband and wife team, and it also can really hinder someone's happiness and positive mental attitude as well.
Absolutely, and you know, we always talk about how these chronic neck or back conditions affect the patient, and obviously it's very painful and limiting for them. But a lot of times the treatments that they've been offered simply revolve around pain relief, and they're not actually fixing the cause of that pain. And when that problem persists and you're not really getting it fixed, you know, you can wind up in a hopeless state where you just don't really see a point, you know, trying any other treatments because nothing's worked before, and you know, you don't really see a point continuing on. And when you give up hope, you don't have a whole lot. But you know, a lot of people are in relationships, and that's something we haven't really talked much about before. But when people are struggling so much and have that many limitations in their lives due to this neck or back pain, it absolutely affects the other people in their lives, the spouses, the kids, and sometimes even affecting their work and coworkers as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little more in depth because we're going to talk to your patient in just a few moments, but like you said, there are so many after effects to this pain. And you know that work is one of those. I mean, there's a lot of people that are suffering with this pain in their neck and their back, but it's not just physical, it also affects their mental well-being, and being able to go to work as well is a big, big problem as well.
Yeah, and we hear a lot of stories from patients coming in that, you know, they have to make a living and provide, but they work hard, and then you know, when they get home, they're exhausted, they're in a lot of pain, and it just takes all their effort through that night to recuperate enough just to make it back to another day of work, and there really is no quality of life, and you know, they're not certainly enjoying life at all. They're just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, so you see a lot of patients that have issues with degenerative disc disease, and we want to talk about that. What are some of the common treatments and the symptoms that you've seen?
Well, the symptoms with degenerative disc disease is just chronic neck or back pain, something that bothers them, you know, continuously. They have their ups and downs each day, but it's a repetitive thing that really on a daily basis affects them. And beyond that, sometimes these discs, when they're degenerated, can actually start to bulge or herniate out where they're pushing out into these nerves. And that can cause problems in the arms or the legs or feet, not just pain, but it can be numbness and tingling, or sometimes even affects strength in those extremities where, you know, they can't stand any length of time. Sometimes they feel like their legs are going to give out just because they have that weakness due to the pinched nerve in their neck or their back.
Yeah, so I'd like to bring your patient Dustin into this conversation. Dustin, this sounds all so familiar to you. We were speaking earlier today, and you talked to me a little bit about the pain that you had for so long, and it really started to affect your relationship with Mel as well as your work. So can you talk to me a little bit about your journey?
Well, I guess I don't know where to start. I've been dealing with back pain for probably 10 years, most severe the last 2 years. I started out with just general chiropractic, and I got okay results in the beginning, and then it began to progress. So I went in and had my MRI done. They sent me to the pain clinic where I got pain injection, which worked temporarily. And after that didn't work, I started hitting the chiropractic way more frequently, and it just finally it just stopped working. And I had to make a decision at that point, and that's when Mel found Dr. Miller for me.
Yeah. Mel, I mean, this sounds like it's been a long process. What is that like for you to see the man that you love in pain every single day?
Well, we've been together for a very long time, since middle school, and you know, so I've seen him in his best of best, and I've now seen him in his worst of worst, and you know, it got to the point where it was affecting our relationship. We couldn't get up and go and do anything. He was tired all the time, and not only did it affect our relationship, but it was affecting him as a father. You know, we have 3 children, and it was hard for him to sit down and play games with them or take them swimming, or we played soccer golf with my daughter last year for her birthday, and he couldn't even make it through the 2nd hole. So it got to a point where I was almost a single mother, and you know, and with his sleeping all the time and bad attitude and things like that, I was just at the end of my rope.
Yeah, and Mel, you actually saw Dr. Miller right here on 8 West, and you started sending pictures over to Dustin, and you said, you have to make this call, otherwise, you know, you need to make a choice.
Right. In the last probably 2 years, he's been suffering terribly, where he was missing a lot of work, and, you know, he was sleeping all the time. And I seen Dr. Miller on 8 West one day, and I was just like, this might be our answer. And so I took a text of, or a picture of him on TV and his phone number and what all he treated, and I sent it to him, and he kind of laughed it off. And so every time I seen Dr. Miller on 8 West, I sent him that text message and said, here he's on there again. This is your doctor. You need to get it figured out. So it was a little over a year before he finally called the doctor.
But he did call. And Dustin, you did the DRX 9000C. Talk to me a little bit about how you feel now and how you felt through the process.
Well, I started it out skeptical, I'll admit, and the first week it was a little rough on me, but I came in there in severe pain, and the second week, treatment number 7, I started feeling results, and yeah, I just got better every single time I went from there, and now I'm almost a month pain-free.
That is amazing. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I know that you're very glad that you listened to Mel and made that phone call. Dr. Miller, talk to us a little bit about this treatment and how this worked, not only for Dustin, but it helps so many people.
Well, the main thing with this, Jordan, is that we're actually treating the actual condition and working on getting their discs and their spine healthier to eliminate the pain. And so it's a medical device, it's non-invasive, it doesn't involve any type of electricity, no magnets, no drugs, no shots, no surgery, and it actually helps to regenerate these discs, where you can see on this graphic, it actually draws those herniations back in where they should be, away from the nerves, and can rehydrate and thicken up those degenerated discs. And that's really why Dustin had such great results, is because he had those conditions, and you know, by fixing those and getting his discs and his spine healthier, you know, that's why he's, you know, living pain-free and able to perform at work once again.
And Dr. Miller, you are offering a new patient special at Total Health Chiropractic. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, you know, just like Dustin said, you know, don't give up hope. There are other options, and I would encourage your viewers, if you have any of these issues, call our office today and you can schedule a consultation and an examination. And we'll offer $50 off your first visit, so you can start to get to the bottom of your problem and see if this is an option for you to get that pain taken care of once and for all.
Yeah, the new year's right around the corner. You don't want to have debilitating pain that's going to take over your quality of life. Dr. Miller, it is always a pleasure. Dustin and Mel, have a wonderful new year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.